What is going on, everybody? It is Motovlogger Monday, and we have a great show set up for you. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to participate in that side chat, as we'll be trying to get to that. And we're going to jump right into it because our guest tonight is none other than Whit Meza. I will tell you, I was super excited to have her come onto the show and agree to do so, because finding her channel to me was kind of like finding Breaking Bad on Netflix and then just binge watching the thing. So super, super excited to have her on. So let's bring her in and we will get to know Miss Whit Meza. Hello, Whit.
Hi.
How are you?
Awesome. Good. But I don't really, okay, I'm going to confess I haven't watched Breaking Bad yet, so I don't really know exactly the reference, but I can kind of understand it.
So just think of your favorite TV show, right?
Okay, just binging that part.
Yeah, and just binging it and it was really, really cool to see. So yeah, I tell you what, it's awesome. I'm still not done with all of them, but it's one of those things where they're highly entertaining. And congratulations on that, because I think everybody that's here in the side chat would agree that you got something good going on there, and we are excited to see more.
I guess.
So let us go right into, let's talk about you real quick. Why don't we talk about, who is Whit Meza? If you can kind of take us back to how you started getting into this biker life, if you will, and getting into the channel and becoming, just a motovlogger and just creating all this stuff that we get to watch now. How did this all start?
So it just recently started. It hasn't been a full year yet. I think it's April when I actually pulled the trigger and started recording something that actually had motovlog content along with it. But before then, I had a GoPro strapped to my helmet and was riding along some of the rustic roads up here in Wisconsin. Before then, I am a wedding photographer for pretty much my full-time career right now. So I've gotten the photography side of it, but the video side was something that I wanted to learn, but I didn't want to put myself into like commercial work right away. Like I needed to just try my hand out on it. And the best way to do it was I enjoyed riding, and I saw and, like you said, watched a lot of these motovloggers and just motorcycle and related content that it's like, you know what, I can try to do this. And I had a lot planned within the last year before everything went south, but I had events that I was going to be doing that I wanted to capture for myself, but also for maybe to share with others too. So that was my intent, and it's kind of turned into a little bit of all across the country riding, and then some showcasing other moto moms too, because I am a young mother of two, and sometimes it's not the easiest thing in the world to get to do, but I'm gonna have to showcase what I can do when I have the time to myself. So that's my motovlog in a nutshell.
I gotcha. So, and then talk me through, what was your first bike?
So I guess if you rewind way far back, my parents owned a dairy farm. And so they had little 50cc Hondas, and we got to rip around the cornfields after milking a couple nights during the week or during the weekend. So that's what I learned on, I guess, but not really. My first street bike was, my husband and I got our license probably about 8 years ago now. And our first one was a 06 Softail Night Train. And it wasn't the smallest bike in the world, but it was one that we could share. So I could ride it one day, he could ride it the next day, and we could go out for date nights on it together too. So I was slightly terrified with that bike because I dropped it the first night I got in the parking lot with it.
Oh,
and
no.
I know it was not the best thing in the world, but I think I've only rode that bike like a handful of times. And so we ended up selling that bike when my son was about to come into the world, just because we didn't want to have the loan on it. We weren't riding it. My husband was deployed at the time. It just didn't really make sense to have it sit in the garage and somebody could pay off our loan on it and just pretty much cut it even. So we decided to take that route. But within this last 3 years, I bought my 03 Sportster. So it's a 100th anniversary edition, 883. And I technically say that this last year was my first full year of riding, because when I bought the bike, 2 months later, I found out I was pregnant and couldn't ride the damn thing for another full year almost. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's crazy. So now, I mean, in the beginning, you guys would just share the bike. Like, how would that work? Where you're like, hey, do we have a calendar here? Do we set up like you get Mondays, I get Tuesdays, like child custody? What was going on here?
Kind of like, so if it was a good day of riding that, so we had different schedules too. So he worked second shift and I worked first shift. So if I wanted to, I could take the bike and kind of call it my own. Or if he wanted to take it for one night, it was more on the weekend. So like on a Friday, he would finish work, come pick me up. I don't even know, like 10, 11 o'clock at night. These youngins that we were at that point in time, we just go out and cruise around downtown. But yeah, it was whoever decided to call the shots, but we didn't really ride it as much as we should have, besides around the town.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I guess it would be really good for like Christmas and Valentine's Day gifts. I mean, you got to think about it this way. You're like, hey, honey, I got you an exhaust for the bike when it's really something that you want. I mean, it's
Exactly.
a win-win.
Yeah. Well, I
So-
was the one that pulled him into the dealership. So we went out, I think it was an Easter weekend, and I was like, let's just walk in the dealership and see what's out there. And we ended up pretty much getting the whole 9 yards. We bought the bike, we bought the gear, and we didn't even have our license. Like the salesperson didn't even ask until he brought the bike out of the garage and said, I probably should have asked you this, but do you know how to ride? And so we white knuckled the bike the entire way home. I watched my husband do it because I couldn't bring myself to do it just yet. And kind of then put the bike in the garage until we got our MSF course certification. So yeah.
in what year was that?
So that was probably about 8, 9 years ago. So I don't even know. I can't do the math at the moment, but yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Good for you. So, and of course you mentioned the doing the wedding photography stuff. So, I mean, I have to ask you, the photography side of things, I got into way after videography. So I'm still
really?
much learning how to take photos, right? But it's something I enjoy learning, and I always strive to get better. So I have to ask you, because I think this is what every photographer has to ask you, like, wait a minute, so what gear are you rocking?
So I'm a Canon person, and I have been that way since I started. It was pretty much between Canon and Nikon. I picked up a Nikon camera and I went, this is foreign to me. It doesn't feel right. The buttons weren't in the positions where I thought they would be. So Canon just instantly connected with me, and I've been a Canon girl ever since, but I'm slightly looking at some of the Sony ones too, just piquing my interest. But if I have to make that jump, I have to fully commit to do that. So I'm a Canon girl through and through when it comes to that.
Yeah, there's boosted bagger, Canon all the way. So,
Absolutely.
and it's funny because we boosted bagger and we talk, and we film stuff, and we've gone on rides, and of course I'm a Nikon shooter.
Oh dang! Now we're divided.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we don't have to worry about anybody taking anybody else's lenses, I guess. But yeah, we go out quite a bit, and yeah, I mean, it's crazy because it is almost like that. You can compare it to Chevy versus Ford, right? And you could do Callaway versus TaylorMade if you're into golfing, whatever kind of reference that you need. You could even say Harley Davidson and Indian, right? Okay. And that would probably be the thing. So in the beginning of you starting this channel, because I know, I mean, you become vulnerable, you go to post up your first video and you have no idea how that's going to play out, right? No. So walk me through your first video. And have you ever gone back and actually watched that first video?
Yes, I have.
So tell us about it.
So it was a crap storm the first go around, because I thought I had everything all connected, ready to go. Did like a half an hour ride just around town here. It was the beginning of spring, so a little high 40s maybe. And the scenery was just still dead trees and still some snow on the ground. But I went through the whole entire thing, felt really comfortable, and got back and looked at my footage, and there was no audio whatsoever. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me, because I had my GoPro, I had the mic adapter. I have a GoPro 8 and a Hero Black, I think it is, or whatever. I had the mic adapter with it, And for some reason, couldn't figure out. I was like, I've got everything connected. I don't know why I don't have any audio. Come to realize, thankfully, some of the other moto vloggers, it was actually the Five Dirty Bikers guys, Tony. He goes, I think it's definitely your audio, but you need to plug it in farther. So I didn't have the mic all the way into the mic adapter to make it work. And I was like, I am such an idiot. Here I'm going, it's the mic. Something's wrong with that. I got to order a different part for this. So I had to do the whole thing over again. And it didn't really feel as natural because again, after all the script I've done, I did like 3 or 4 different times. Now I had to do it all over again. It was entertaining from my side of it. But that night, I instantly just started to dive into Adobe Premiere Pro. I was like, I got to figure this out. I want to do this. I stayed up until like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and went, all right, done. I've got this. I got it within the mark that I was supposed to. So probably like around 11 minutes or so. I tried to do the dual cameras too. I had all of this envisioned because I've seen so much, and from a photographer or like creator standpoint, you're like, yes, I can do that. I know how to, that makes sense. I can try to do this. But I was hooked, and I stayed up way too late to edit it, and then probably shared it the next 2 days after, I think it was, just because I had to give myself some time, relook at it again, and then finally uploaded it. So yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, so that was it, did you have a lot of talking head vlogging parts, or was it kind of just in the helmet? And then we all know how that first awkwardness goes, right?
It's so weird.
And heaven forbid somebody comes by while you got a camera in your hand, like they don't know what you're doing. You like pretend like you're looking at settings, right? I mean,
thankfully, I had all backcountry roads. There was nobody on the roads. For my sake, like just getting used to that, and it was the start of riding season again for me, so I wasn't as comfortable on my bike yet. I didn't want to have all of these factors go against me. So at least I found some backcountry roads. I think I passed like 1 vehicle. That was it. But the hardest part for me was I have to have a full-on conversation, and I have to speak it. Like before, I was like, I just had this internal monologue going on in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, that would be great to say, or that would be good to do. And then you actually have to go out and say it and speak it, and it's just a whole different ballgame. Like I kind of relate it to photography in a way, like my clients come and show up for, say, an engagement session or their wedding, and they're like, what do I do? Where do I put my hands? How do I adjust my body? There's all these things that you're constantly thinking of that you didn't think were things until you had to press the record button and actually say that stuff that you
I know, and it's funny because once you hit that record button, I call it the junk of the mouth button, because as soon as you hit that little red button, it's got some type of magic potion that, because I'll have it up here, and then if I could run through my blooper reel, which I create from time to time, I have on my other channel, and I will eventually. But I mean, that material is endless. Like I got more blooper reel material than I ever have on material that I throw up there. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. And tell me a little bit kind of like of your your personal life. I know your mom, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So I got two. I got a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old, a boy and a girl, and they're completely different, opposite individuals, and it's crazy.
Okay. And married?
Yes. Yep. So my husband and I will be 10 years married this August, actually.
Awesome. So, congratulations.
Yeah.
In trying to do this, and I know that you had mentioned that your husband was deployed, right?
Yes,
He's not.
Is. Yep.
So you are now stay-at-home mom, or working mom, excuse me.
Yep.
So working mom
Both.
with 2 kids, trying to run a channel. Okay.
Yes.
So walk me, how do you deal with the time management?
Oh God, I don't know. I try to do at least like job stuff first, but when I get into a rut of something where I'm just like, okay, I can't go any farther with what I'm trying to do. I've got a handful of freelance marketing jobs along with my wedding business, so I've got my hands in a lot of different buckets, but at one point it just gets to be just too much, and I don't not feel motivated or creative. So that's where I just press the pause button. I put in my hard drive for my motovlog and try to do at least some culling or just video watching of all my footage. And that kind of brings my motivation back up, and I jump right back into my work stuff. But most of my motovlog editing comes around this time of the night. So like 8, 9, 10, sometimes well into the night. And I wake up in the morning regretting my decision, but happy about my decision.
Yeah, no, I have been there, and I've always said my rule is always just to review that video in the morning, because especially and people will know, editing tired,
Not the greatest.
that can literally come out to be a disaster. And there's times where I want to get in studio and edit stuff, but I know that it's going to just be junk. And sometimes if you go a long way on the wrong way on your edit, it's hard to go back and say,
what the heck?
Yeah.
So like, especially when you're doing the motovlogs, like you're a storyteller when it comes down to it. And so if you can't think straight of what you're trying to come across and portray, like it doesn't make any sense, and you just have to kind of cut it for what it is then and start again the next day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So this is going to be the portion where let's go ahead and check in with everybody, and there's going to be a lot of familiar faces that but let's make sure we say hi to everybody. So we know we have Dyna Rider 91. He's in the house. Hello, thank you for stopping by. Salty and Sprinkles is here. Throttle down under. Thank you so much for being here. Beard is here from Baggers and Brews. I know they're in the house as well. Let's see here. We have Bry the Biker, and he's in the house. Who else do we got over here on the side? Boosted Bagger. Boosted Bagger is here. Boosted Bagger and I, we actually don't live that far away from each other, and he's kind of somebody that I go to ride with, and he also has a channel. You guys should check him out over there. Let's see here. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Also, I've always been curious as I continue to talk with Whit, if you guys wouldn't mind, because I always lose track, but why don't you guys tell me where you're checking in from tonight? Like, give me, and if you say Texas, I'm going to tell you don't ride your bike right now, because that's bad.
Probably not ideal right now.
But go ahead and let me know in the side chat right now, where are you guys watching this? Setzer Pendants is in the house, and he was throwing out a compliment a little bit earlier.
Oh, nice.
And let's see who else. Bells Rides Moto. She is here. Thank you for being here and stopping by. But yeah, go ahead and everybody on the side, if you wouldn't mind, let me know where you guys are at. Therefore, it's kind of good to find out where these other motovloggers and people that are into this lifestyle are at, because you never know. Absolutely. You could be out on a trip and you're like, hey, I'm going to be passing through this town, this city, whatever. And it's good to know that these people are there. You just hit them up, and who knows, you got a collaboration and things like that. So Motovlogger Monday, that's pretty much what this is all about, getting us all together, realizing that we are colleagues in a sense of this crazy world. Whit and I were talking, which I like to call back in the green room, just about, just getting everybody together, communicating, developing those collaborations. It can be done, and everybody should be, I guess, kind of rooting each other on, if you will, which I really think that this community does a lot. Oh, yeah. But I have talked to new motovloggers where they throw out a video, let's call it on the 2021 whatever, and then they get upset because somebody else is doing it on the 2021. It's like, well, you're never going to come up with that material that nobody's ever done, but you can come together and do collaborations. So that's what I'm hoping happens with this forum as we continue to do Motovlogger Mondays every single Monday. And as long as people are digging them, we'll keep doing them. So again, getting back to you, thank you so much for being here with us. But let's get back knowing a little bit more about you. And of course, one of the things that I would say is the elephant in the room, if you will, is going to be talking to you about the Iron Butt Challenge.
Yes.
Okay? So the Iron Butt Challenge, not only on an Iron Butt Challenge, but on a Sportster.
Yeah.
883.
A frame-mounted engine one too. So before I haven't even rode any of the new 883s or the 1200s to know the difference between mine and the bikes now. But yeah, that was an interesting adventure.
Insane, because I have always, people, that's almost like a common conversation piece. And it's funny because there's not really a lot of people that have done an Iron Butt challenge is,
Mhm.
you think about the entire riding, I would say, community. There's people that have not actually done it, got certified, and did it the way that you did.
Yeah.
And of course, during my binge watching series, the fact that you were able to go back and now tell people about lessons learned and things like that, I mean, that was all really good, useful stuff. And before we get too much on your experience with that, because I definitely want to know about it, you know, in Iron Butt, I mean, it's like a bucket list kind of thing, right? And
Mhm.
I always look at, from I'm in San Diego, right? So I'm like, okay, so
Oh, you could
where are some
totally.
places I can go? So there's a couple different places that I've actually like looked at, and one of them, no joke, is Winslow, Arizona, right?
Nice.
So you ride out to the corner
Yep.
of Winslow Street in Winslow, Arizona, and you're right there in the song, and you're just living the dream, right? And then
Is that a full 1,000 miles there, or are you turning around or coming
no,
back? Okay,
it'd be like just a little bit more than 500.
got it. Okay, so
So it would
halfway
be
through.
it'd be like a loop, yeah,
That's
or
what I
just straight
figured, but
down,
I didn't
straight
know.
back. And then San Francisco for
Mhm.
us is 510, give or take, miles away too. So,
There you go.
you have two different routes that you can take. But I mean, those are things that, I'm sure a lot of people think about, but they don't do. But you go ahead and you pull the trigger and say,
I know.
I'm going to go ahead and do this. So can you kind of walk us through that experience?
So I had a actually photography conference scheduled during this like time that I had originally planned to do that. I had a babysitter lined up, ready to go. She was still going to watch the kids, and so I had 3 days to figure out what can I do? Where do I want to go? Do I want to fly somewhere? Wasn't the best option to do that right then and there. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stick around, but I know I want to ride. And I had found the Iron Butt Association through Wendy Crockett, who is actually the 2019 rally winner for this last rally year. She was on a women's motorcycle conference, and that sparked my interest. So I looked at the website. I saw that there was a Lake Michigan route that somebody could take, and so I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to do this. And I had no idea what to expect. I've never rode more than 500 miles a day. There are some rustic roads where you have to ride pretty much halfway through the state in order to get to ride. I was like, well, I've done 500, maybe 600. What's another 4 in 24 hours? So I decided, all right, I'm going to start that first day. And then if it doesn't pan out and I need to stop, I have at least 2 days to make my way back around Lake Michigan, and just kind of pulled the trigger, got planned out, had to figure out my exact gas station stops because my little peanut tank could only hold, I think it was 125 miles max, maybe. I don't I don't know. So
That's nuts.
it's crazy. So I planned out probably about 1,000, spaced them out, of different stops. So I had to stop 16 different times, which took up a lot more time than what I expected it to be, but I planned everything out because my husband's thing
Wait,
was like,
stop
okay,
real quick. Did you
yeah,
say 16 times?
16
One
different
six?
times. Yep, 1 6.
Wow.
Yeah. There's some where
Okay.
if you've got a 5-gallon tank, you can easily keep riding and go through, but for my sake, I had to physically stop. I didn't have an auxiliary tank or anything extra to go that I had to make those stops. So every 1,000 miles, or not, every 100 miles I stopped to fill up, but I realized very quickly that the time that I had spent when I was motovlogging it, so I had to do that plus check in with Instagram and then also do my certification, because if I was going to do it, I'm going to make sure I'm getting certified, because it would not necessarily be a waste, but that was the challenge part, and that's what was the most important. So I started at 8 o'clock in the morning because that's when I could physically start and leave my kids from daycare and go. I wish I would have started sooner, but that was a time frame I was given. So it took me 23 hours pretty much to start and finish in that same spot around, and then go all the way around Lake Michigan. So I went through Illinois and part of Indiana, and then all the way up through the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and come back around to Wisconsin. So yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yep. There's the wife checking in.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're a badass. Yeah, that's That is crazy. And so you said you'd done some 500 milers
Mhm.
before that.
Right.
And then on this particular, and if anybody hasn't seen this series, I mean, I'm going to tell you, if you're watching this live, after this, you should go check it out.
It's like
And
45 minutes long though, so like you have to plan accordingly because I just couldn't cut all of it out.
oh no, absolutely. And that's what I love about it. And that's what we're going to get into. And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure you go check it out and check out that series, because one of the things that I really enjoyed about this experience and watching your journey going through the Iron Butt was that you almost can see your raw emotion.
Mhm.
And I don't want to say pain, which it might have been pain. I mean, just the raw emotion of,
Frustration more than anything. It was just I planned it right, but I didn't write it the way that I should have. And so at one point in time, it was that like 11 o'clock at night. I was tired. I was exhausted. I thought I missed my gas station stop that I was going to like be at, that was going to be closed, because that Upper Peninsula of Michigan was the worst. And that's what, after doing some like investigating, and there's an Iron Butt Facebook group too, that if you want to be a part of, I kind of picked everybody's brain, and they told me to go clockwise, go through Upper Peninsula of Michigan and come back down. But I didn't, because I really wanted to ride around sunset and go up that way. So for my end of it, I didn't get up there until 9-10 o'clock at night. And the gas station that I thought I was at was the one that was going to be closed within like 3 minutes. And then after that, the gas station that I was going to pretty much 2 stops after was completely closed, even though they were supposed to be open 24 hours. So like everything up there was going to be dicey, and I knew it was, and I took the risk, and I skinned through with like just barely what I needed to.
oh, one of my favorite parts was that gas station scene, to be honest with you. You're like, I only have 3 minutes and it's just not going to happen at all. And I have no idea what I'm going to do. And then you just kind of sit there and you kind of zoning out a little bit. And you're like, wait a minute. I'm
I
at the
am
gas
here.
station
Yeah.
that I need to be at. And I got
You
3
lose
minutes.
track. You lose track of the gas stations. Like that was my 11th stop, I think it was. So at that point in time, I'm like, I don't know which gas station stop I need to be at now. And thankfully, I still had my like check-in, my checklist, and I had there's painter's tape that I put on my gas receipt holder that I would peel off every single time. And then I realized that was the gas station, even though I thought it was like, I thought I still had longer to go, but I was there. It just was, it was like the high point of my whole entire moto vlog was getting to that, that
So
stop.
from the inception standpoint to the point of actually going on this ride, like what was this something that you talked to your husband about first and said, hey, I want to do this? And like, how did this all go? Yeah, yes, no.
Kind of, because I didn't really know what I had planned until maybe about like a week or 2 before. And then I realized I had to get an oil change and I needed new tires. And for my sake, I was like, well, you know what? I might as well do it. Why not? I have the time to do it. It's now or never. If I'm not going to do it, well, then I might regret not doing it. So I let him know, and he was very like cognizant of like certain things and me preparing for it all. So I had like a pop-up tent, and I had extra food and all this stuff just for the sake of like, if I did break down somewhere, and if I was up in the top part of Michigan, there really is minimal self-service somewhere along the route, that he just wanted to be as prepared as possible. I guess that's the military side of him. So as long as I told him like, this is my route, this is where you can watch me. I have a Spotwalla account that if you send them any person a direct link, they can watch and see where you're at and can track where you are. So for his sake, he kind of felt a little more comfortable on it, but he knew I had my mind made up. I was going to do it.
So I have to ask you, did he provide you with MREs?
Yes, he did. They're downstairs.
All right, there we go. Just give you some MREs and it's in a tent.
Spaghetti, we're good to go.
Yeah, we can make everything happen. That's so awesome. And on that ride and that route, obviously you probably have a lot of time, especially as times might seem to go a little slower, to kind of reflect on you, I would imagine. I mean, something that long of a ride, and there's only so much music you can listen to.
Oh, I can listen to it all day long. That was my like gold mine for me.
Well,
So
that's good. I mean,
yeah.
and that's how I am. I mean, I'm all about the music. I got the Senna system. Speaking of which, I'm going to tell
Mhm.
people this is obviously not a sponsored thing, but I'm going to let you know I just got these bad boys, the HD speaker
Speakers.
upgrades for the
I'm
10C
slightly
Evo.
jealous.
Okay, so I've been waiting for these things, and again, this isn't sponsored. Um, I've been
Hashtag
waiting for
sponsor.
those since the announcement where I went on all the websites, said, yeah, let me know as soon as it's available, because they didn't have, they had them for all the others, but there was like a handful, including the 10C Evo, that they didn't have it for. Just got it last week, installed. Man, it will
Good.
change your world. And then you
Mhm.
get all these different controls. I don't know, which Senna system are you using?
I think it's just the 10C. It's a really older version of it all. But I had
It's
the radio, and that's what I needed. What's that?
Does it have the camera?
Mm-mm. Nope.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
So
going farther back from that. Yep.
yeah, definitely research it because it changes everything. So with
Yeah.
me, I would notice that at freeway speeds, and I run a Simpson helmet. At freeway
Mm-hmm.
speeds, you can't hear pretty much anything.
Anything.
However, today I was able to call the wife doing freeway speeds,
And
and
she
it
could
was
hear.
crystal clear. I'm
That's
so
awesome.
excited. So, and it's just a little more bassy, a little more mid-tone. So, on this ride of yours,
Mm-hmm.
at what point in time were you thinking to yourself, this did you ever at any time say this is a bad idea?
When I got to the gas station that wasn't open anymore, and I had like, I didn't know exactly how much gas I had left in my tank that I needed to find the next gas station stop, and I had minimal cell phone coverage. For my sake, I kind of had a slight panic going, oh shoot. And I looked at most of the hotels that were in and around the area. They had all of the hotels like parking lots packed full. So I was like, I'm not going to find anything. There's going to be no way. I'm going to have to slip out in the parking lot right here, and that's where it's going to be, or it's going to be in the middle of the woods riding back down to Munsing. That was the point. And then it got to be like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going, this is crazy. I should take a nap. But I kept pushing through because I was this close to being into Wisconsin already. So that's the part I did not like.
With the one that's on screen right now on the bridge?
Yes, the grid.
Yeah.
So they have the grading, and it's a 2-lane or 4-lane bridge, but it was under construction. So you couldn't go into the actual paved part. You had to ride the metal grading. And this is a 4 or 5 mile long bridge that connects the Upper Peninsula to the Lower Peninsula of Michigan. And I was terrified because you feel like you have no control, and you've got semis behind you, like on your butt, ready to go. So yeah, it was not the best
Wow.
experience on the bike for that.
Yeah,
But the minute
construction,
it not work,
not good.
no.
Not good. So, so along with that, and you're getting into the home stretch. So what are you feeling at mile, I don't know, let's just call it 800. I've never done anything like that, but I mean, at mile 800, what are you thinking about?
I need sleep. I need rest because I was running on a full probably 24 hours of being awake at that point in time. And I knew I probably needed just to take a 5-10 minute break, but I didn't want to because I realized all of the time that I'd spent prolonging my stops at the gas station were coming to like what I had set up for my route. And I had planned like a 2-hour nap up in Munsing, but it didn't work out because I just ate up all that time. So I felt the pressure to keep going, but at the same point I was just purely exhausted because it was that wee early morning of the day, like 3, 4 o'clock, where it's not quite yet sunrise and you don't feel like it's daylight yet out, and you're just so tired. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was
for
that.
sure. No, I bet. And then of course, once you actually hit that finish line, that's just I mean, like I said, you can see in your videos your raw emotion of actually completing that. And then also your follow-up videos when you get your certifications and things like that, which is so cool because I mean, you can't fake those emotions. And I guarantee you can't act out those emotions after being up for that long riding a motorcycle. So
No.
you can totally watch that series and you feel it. So, I mean, just good at you. So
Yes.
that's just so awesome. Because we just talked about, this community, there's such a believe it or not, there's a small amount. I mean, it's a smaller than people think of people that have actually completed an iron butt.
Yes.
And then come to one up that, I couldn't even tell you how many females have completed the iron butt. You have to be in an elite class just for doing that, which has got to be a good feeling.
I think it's just on the sporty. Like so many of those long distance riders that are like have done multiple iron butts in rallies have given me credit doing my first iron butt on a Sportster, because I didn't realize it. It was like, that's the only bike I have. That's the bike I'm comfortable with. I'm going to ride it. And I've rode that's like 500, 600 mark already. I was like, I could probably do it. So for my end of it, that's where I think I got the most credit and didn't realize it until after the fact. But I rented so many bikes this last year too, that some of those touring models are like just pure gold. And I got back on my sporty and went, what in the heck was I thinking? Like, this doesn't make any sense. But if you tell me again, like if the snow is all gone and it's a gorgeous like 60, 70 day, I'm going to go out and ride, and I would do another iron butt in a heartbeat on my Sportster.
Yeah. Like I said, of the other two classes, then you throw the Sportster in there, you know, it's motivating. Like it should, and it should. Just watching that, I'm not going to lie. Like I'm sitting there and be like, how rad is this? So, you know, good for you. But let's check back in. So we got Salty and Sprinkles there in Houston. I'm not
Freezing.
sure. It's going to be pretty cold in Houston right now. North San Antonio, you guys can compete and find out who's got worse weather. That sets their pendants. The Badgers, Florida, so cold it's 70 degrees.
Yep. I think we're at negative degree temps right now up here in Wisconsin, so I don't feel. Oh, we're at a high of 2 right now. So
I've been to. I have my best friend lives in Minnesota.
Oh yeah. And that's even colder right now too.
Yeah, and so I've been to Minnesota quite a few times, and I actually used to go to Cadott, Wisconsin, several years to go to Country Fest.
Yes.
In Cadott, and also my favorite beer of all times. Leinenkugel's is.
I was just there on Saturday.
At Leinie's Lodge?
Yep, I was. I had a wedding up there.
So before Miller bought them out, I mean, I'm talking old school, and this is like circa 2005.
Yep.
I went to Leinie's Lodge, and Honey Weiss has got to be my favorite beer. They do not sell it west of the Rockies because and this is what has been told to me. It's because they use local honey, and they can't transport local honey. So there was maybe a 3-month period of time, one Father's Day weekend, I think I went into a Bevmo and they actually had Honey Weiss. I was like, hey, give it to me, give it all to me. So,
I need it now. Have you tried Spotted Cow though? That's my question. Have you tried Spotted Cow in here?
I have not.
Okay, if I ever get out to California, I can't physically ship it to you, but I will bring like at least a 12-pack down for you guys to try that. So
yes, I'm in, and then likewise, I'll if I get out there. So let's see. We got Boosted Bagger, obviously checking in from my hometown, San Diego. I think he's trying to compete with the Badgers there. Tony is in the house. Tony Sutherland is from Michigan, so he's dealing with that colder weather. And true story, the first time I went to Minnesota, it was in February, and it was negative 40 when I got off the plane. I'm from San Diego. I don't know how to survive this. And if you remember before Uber and Lyft, right, you would walk out of the Minnesota and probably all the airports there, and they would just assign you your taxi cab, right? They would say, number 23. I walked out of those doors and my eyelids froze over.
You didn't know what to do.
Did not know what to do. And of course, but once I settled in and I met up with my buddy and my buddy Danny, I have to be the San Diego tourist, right? So what do you do when you're from San Diego and it's negative 40 and you're at a bar? Any takers?
I have no idea.
You asked the bartender for 2 pitchers of water. I'm going to go see if this crap works right now. And so I went outside. Oh yeah. I was
It definitely does. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, just like powder. Poof. It's phenomenal. So
I haven't tried it myself, but I need to. I've seen it done multiple times. It's fun. Yeah,
it was crazy. So North Cove Baggers is in the house. PA's got to be pretty chilly right now too.
Probably.
Let's see. We have Austin Baggers and Brews coming in from Jersey. He's from Jersey. Let's see. I want to make sure if anybody that checked in, if I missed anybody on where they're representing. I like to know where everybody's at. You know what I mean? So tell me a little bit now, what is it that you see for 2021? I mean, we're kind of getting towards that tail end of this terrible pandemic and, having things locked down. So do you already have like plans in place that you want to fulfill or see it happening that you're going to be a part of it?
I didn't really let 2021 get to me. I had, those events scheduled, but I still went out and actually rode in the same areas of what I had planned and originally done. So I was out in Sturgis area. So I went out there all the way to Idaho, Wyoming. I was then down in Vegas area, went to Zion and Bryce Canyon, and then was over in the Smoky Mountains too. But for this year, because I don't know if those events are still going to happen, I would love to attend them if they do. But my biggest thing is trying to complete a 48 states in 10 days challenge through the Iron Butt Association. So,
holy smokes.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing that I want to tackle. So I've got the route already planned out. It's going to take me about 9 days to do. So I've given myself at least one good day to catch up and if I need to. But yeah, that's my biggest thing. I found that I really loved long distance riding, and I felt like this is the best way to see if I'm cut out for any of those long-term rallies and long distance endurance riding. So yeah.
And are you planning to go to Sturgis this year? Like, is that a...
Yes. So at least that's our hope. So it's always around our wedding anniversary. And with it being our 10-year this year, I want to bring my husband out and have him ride some of those roads this year. I think he would absolutely love them. And just to kind of catch up and connect with those people that are out there. Like I wanted to meet up with the Bakers and Brews crew, but they were there right as I left. And so I just enjoyed it. And I want him to experience that part of it too. So we had plans to do like Mediterranean cruise and really go out all out for our 10-year anniversary, and that's not going to be the case. So this is the next
motorcycle riding together is probably just as good, to be honest with you. And I'm also going, the wife and I are going to be in Sturgis, so we will have to meet up. Okay, so that is for sure. We got to do something, get some stuff on camera.
We got to do like a Motovlogger meetup or something along that lines, because that would be fantastic to do. I kind of met up with some of them. There was Blacktop Devil, Dirty D's, and a handful of other ones that were all in that same area. And I met up with some of the Indian guys too. The Bearded Bobber and the Bombshell Biker, they were all in that same time frame, same area. So that was the highlight of Sturgis besides the riding part of it. So
very sweet. So yeah, we'll be there for the entire 2 weeks.
Nice.
So, the entire week. So we'll get in the.
Have you been there before?
Yeah, this past year was our first year. Okay. So the 80th,
that's right.
The 80th was our first year.
That's right.
And yeah, we are going back. Had so much fun. Can't wait to do it all over again. And hopefully get, meet up with everybody, yourself, your husband, film some stuff. It'll be shenanigans for sure that we'll catch on film. So this is the particular point in the show that we do something that's called Around the Horn. Okay, so if you haven't seen any of the other live streams, I'll kind of explain it to you. And if you were just joining this live stream for the first time, thank you for watching the live stream.
Yes.
If you're watching the replay, we are with Whit Meza. Make sure you guys are following her on Instagram and also following or subscribing to her channel. You can follow her on Instagram at Whit Meza. And if you just type in Whit Meza, she's gonna be the top one. She's gonna be the top
Try
one.
To make it as easy as possible for you guys.
which is nice. So Around the Horn, this circles around 4 questions and 4 questions that I ask every single guest that's on the show. And I will continue to ask these 4 questions. Okay. So question number 1, you are going to take a road trip to Sturgis. Okay. And you get to take a bike that you don't currently own. What bike are you riding?
Oh, I've got one that's been boggling my mind since I've rode it. It was one of the newer Indian Chieftains. So I've loved that bike and just felt completely at home on it. So that's what I would ride. And there's a specific year and like color that I would love to have, but can't quite afford a $26,000 bike at the moment. So
Yeah, and that suspension stock on that thing is like a dream. So
Mhm.
yeah, good for you. Yeah, the Indian Chieftain, I really do also enjoy that bike.
I love that.
All right, so you're on the Indian Chieftain. You
Yep.
get to bring one person with you to ride a bike of their choice that they'll choose at the time. They can be living or have passed away. Who is that one person that you want on this once in a lifetime trip to Sturgis?
It would be my husband, that's for sure. We don't get out and do as many, especially within this last year with him being gone. We don't do many date nights, and when we do date nights, we do it on the motorcycle for sure. So like both of us will get on, we'll go find a fancy restaurant to hang out with, but that would be my person to go to. So he would definitely enjoy it, and I think we would both appreciate it. So yeah, that's that. Oh no, did we lose him?
Nope, you didn't lose me.
Okay.
I'm here.
I
Just give me
was like, where'd you go?
No, so I'm having some. This is also not a sponsored event. This is not sponsored by Nikon, but I'm using a program with them that is still in beta. So sometimes it freezes.
Oh yeah,
It'll come
that's
back in
right.
just a second.
Oh no.
So there I am. So you and your husband are on your trip to Sturgis together on a bike, and I guess because you know what he would probably say, I'm thinking, what bike is he on? Just to clear out, this is not part of the around the horn, but what bike is he on?
He's on a sport or oh my gosh. He's on a street glide for sure, without a
Street
doubt.
Glide.
Yeah, he's
Nice.
on a
So you
street
have
glide.
the Chieftain and the Street Glide.
Oh yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay, so you guys are going there, and you get to have a drink. One drink. What are you guys drinking?
Depends on if they can make good old fashions. We are very particular and
Yes.
fancy with it, but we love old fashions. So I'm
Did
a
we just become best friends?
oh
I
for
think
sure.
so.
For
Old
sure.
fashions. Yes,
He's
please.
like a
All right.
bourbon to the max. He loves that, but I'm as sweet as it can get. So if you can give me brandy or something along that lines, I might have a whiskey one every so often. But yeah, that's where we go.
Sets or pendants. That's pretty funny right there. I just so well played, sir. So okay, so you guys are and this is really really good because I've never had somebody say their spouse where you know them so well. But I mean, in your situation, I can totally see, and it's awesome that you would say that. So good at you. So on this trip, though, you only get to ask him one question. There's only one question. And it's the last question you get to ask him. And it doesn't matter if you know the answer or you don't know the answer. I mean, I'm assuming you don't know it right now, but
No.
he will answer it. But there has got to be one question. Can you think of one that you would ask him?
This is highly inappropriate. But
Oh, wow. No,
like
see, where were you Saturday?
pretty
1980?
much. Yeah, right.
No.
No, I'd be like, okay, where are we ending the night? Like, where are we stopping? Where are we stopping our adventure for the weekend or whatever it is? That's where I would
Wow.
ask him. So, yeah.
Okay. That's good stuff. And honestly, I honestly think that I know you're probably like, yeah, that's not really the question, but I have to keep this somewhat PG-13.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. So I appreciate you helping out the show and not getting us banned from
You're
YouTube.
welcome. You're welcome.
So
Spice it up a little bit.
yeah. So honestly, before I let you go, watching this series on the Iron Butt and that entire thing, like I said, was so awesome. It made me watch as many videos. It was a binge session, just video after video, which means something for people that are watching YouTube. I mean, and that's pretty much why you create these videos. You and I also spoke back in the green room about having just a recording of your life to maybe show your kids and other family members that can live in infamy, right? Or it'll live forever. With that and looking at that, see, I'm a spontaneous kind of person, right? So I'm always like, and I always have been, and I feel like, I mean, that is a big, big feat to do. But for me, it's like, I would just want to say, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to go do the Iron Butt. Is that even something that's even possible? Have you ever heard of anybody like doing that? Or is that like biting a little too much? In your opinion, is this one of those rides? They've done it?
People have done it. I know there's a handful of people that have actually just decided, you know what, I'm going to wake up the next day and do it. It takes a lot more mentally to kind of complete it, because you have to think it through, and you're constantly thinking about, okay, when do I need to fill up with gas and how do I need to do all of that? But I think if you got the idea of how you're supposed to get the certification done, then it's easy to kind of tackle it if you've got a destination in mind. But I'm a planner through and through, so I want to be as prepared as possible, and I can just enjoy the ride. So I don't have to think about, oh crap, I'm getting to like 20 minutes out of, or 20 miles out of where I'm going to be empty tank, and I need to find a gas station. Then you have to frantically search for one, or it's just, I don't know. It leaves a lot up in the air to plan and to be able to make it happen. But there's some people that have done it, so there's confidence
here's my
in that.
good influence friend right here, Boosted Bagger, saying, "I bet you won't."
Now you should, because that would be more motivation to me. Be like, oh, well, I'm doing it. This is happening.
Yeah, hold my water real quick. Yeah, I mean, because I definitely would want to do. I always thought it would be cool to do for like a charity event, and raise money for things like that. So, and out here I work closely with Clint August. He runs Motorcycle Monkey. He's also a voice jockey, 101.5, and he does a lot of things for the Armed Services YMCA, which does a lot of things for the military families and things like that. So I was like, that'd be really cool to actually try to schedule something that, raise money and anytime you can do something for charity. I mean, people, like I said, it's just so few people that have done it. But yeah, hey, Boosted Bagger, why don't you put your money where your mouth is right now there, buddy? Awesome.
There actually is a Southeast one. I think it's actually through some of the Indian dealerships, but I don't remember the exact state, but they have all of these dealerships within like 1,000-mile radius of the states that are meeting at those dealerships and then riding down to complete the 1,000 miles or whatever it is. So it's available. I can send you the information if you want it, but
yeah,
I'm sure there's something out there. And it is for, I think it's military benefit for the charity as well too. So
that, I mean, those are the type of things I think that as a motorcycle community, there's a lot of people giving, and I think that'd be a good way to raise some money. So Boosted Bagger says done. Then he's going to follow with it. I'm ready. Okay.
Where's your camera? Just make sure it's ready to go and
just charge your batteries. Well, I mean, I'm a very spontaneous person. I'm very motivated, and I'm ready. So, okay, Boosted. If I said we're leaving tomorrow morning, if I said we're leaving tomorrow morning at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever you said earlier, the better. Okay, Boosted Bagger.
Done.
I'm leaving tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. You in? Don't do this. Don't.
Oh my gosh.
Where is he at here?
Let's do this. That's awesome.
Hey, dude, we are live right now. Don't be messing with me. Hang on. Okay.
You need to message him. I think you should.
No, we're going to call him. We're going to get him on the phone right now. Where is? Okay.
Can I just fly down then? Is that possible? Because I want to be a part of this.
Hopefully he can hear this.
Oh, I can. So I'm sure they can.
He's not going to answer. Hello?
Hey.
Are you messing around?
No.
What do you mean no?
Let's do it.
You want to do this? You want to do this tomorrow morning? I
get away from my computer. I think it's like
echoing. Yeah.
Echoing.
Hey, listen, you're serious about doing this like tomorrow morning? Like I'm talking like I will end this live stream. I will create a route and I will figure out exactly how we're going to do it. But you are not going to be like, no, I ain't going. I mean, you're doing it.
I'll do it. I'll meet you there. You name the start and I'll meet you there.
That's awesome. Yes.
Okay. Hey, I'm going to call you back after this, dude. If you're messing around with me, you suck, and everybody's going to know you suck, but I'll call you back. All right. So.
Live from the road on the iron, but Dave Hendrickson is next week's Motovlogger Monday.
How? Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm a little flustered right now.
No, you should. I love this. This is fantastic.
I'm trying to figure out so, I mean, I would love to do something like that for like charity. And I don't know how, oh my gosh, now I'm getting all showing my hair. The beard says do it. I'm like literally shaking a little bit. Because I'm a
That's the
spontaneous
exact
dude.
feeling I had. But like the night or the day before, I could not sleep. I felt like just so many nerves and stuff like that. But once you get on the bike and actually get 1,000 or like 100 or 200 miles down the road, it's like, oh yeah, I can handle this. What I missed, do what?
So yeah, for those of you that just joined us, I'm trying to figure out how to way to do like something for, you know, like a charity. But apparently, it's right now 7 p.m. on Monday, and apparently tomorrow morning, I'm going to go do an iron butt spontaneously. So that just kind of came to fruition, and my hands are sweating.
I know.
My hands
Mine are two for you right now.
So okay. So and pretty much I got somewhat called out by Boosted Bagger a little bit, and then I called him on the phone. He says he's not messing around with me. My heart's a little elevated. See what you did? Whit motivated me so much.
You need to be a part of this at least. So at least make the solid attempt to say if you could do it or not.
So the wife comes in for subs for charity. That's subs for charity. We think that's interesting. You know what? Let me try to think of something real quick. So, I mean, obviously I have I know how many miles they're away. I can get something put together, I guess, pretty quickly. I'm trying to get caught up on comments and make sure. She says subscriptions for charity. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out. So that would actually be an interesting idea. Everybody's here. They're live. You guys can help us out. So how about we do this? How about
got my permission to do it? Yay. She says yes.
Oh, the wife says do it. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. And this is all happening live. So you're going to have to bear with me because I'm trying to think on the fly without passing out right now. I have never ridden that far.
What's your longest mileage that you have?
So it's like 5 something.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and then very next day I did another 4.
Oh,
so, yeah. I mean, I had a break and then but still, I mean, it's a big feat. So I'm looking at this and I'm going to do this on the fly. So bear with me. Oh my gosh, look what Whit just did. Hopefully this is, let me do this. I'm going to bring up my YouTube channel right now just to see what we can do. And
I love this. This is awesome.
Let's see here. Give me just a second while I bring this up. So my YouTube channel currently as it sits says that I am 738 subscribers. Yep. 738. So right now, 738 subscribers. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do an iron butt tomorrow. I figure it's going to obviously take me, I'm not going to be able to edit anything. But let me do this. Let's say I will donate $1 for every subscriber I get between now and let's call it Friday at 5 p.m. I'm pretty sure I can have the video up and at least up for 24 hours. So let's say cool. Friday at 5 p.m. for every subscriber I get from here until Friday at 5 p.m. I will donate $1 to the Armed Services YMCA. Sorry, I'm
count me in on that donation too. Match.
So that's a great idea. What we should so that's the other thing. I challenge anybody here that knows somebody, knows a company, or even if you guys want to all get involved, let's do something really cool here. We're doing this live. This is not pre-recorded.
No,
we're doing this live. Anybody that's willing to match whatever I raise through my subscriber count, it's 738 when I made this announcement. So every subscriber equals $1 till Friday at 5 p.m. Anybody that wants to match, DM me on Instagram and say that you will match it. If you know any businesses that want to get involved, but we will, I don't know if it's going to be 10 subscribers. I don't know if it's going to be 25 subscribers. I don't know if it's going to be 250 subscribers, but I'm in. I'm freaking pumped right now. So, so let's figure out. Yeah. Could you imagine? Look at this.
I love it.
that all of a sudden got really,
Yes.
really expensive. So I'm going to do,
Thank
I'm
God
going to
I
do
just got a new
$1.
job.
Yeah. $1. Anybody that's in on that. Yeah, I'm definitely, I'm going to do it. I'm going to end this live stream. I'm going to create a route. We're going to figure out where we're going. And I guess a boosted bagger, I have to ask you.
I hope it doesn't go viral.
Yeah. So boosted bagger, I have to ask you, like, what time are we leaving tomorrow? Like you name the time. We have a Chevron gas station that's not too far away from here. That's like our meeting point. So Chevron gas station, boosted bagger, you're live. Tell me right now, what time are we leaving? In the comments.
What time do you normally wake up? Like, is it around like the 5 o'clock mark? Because then I would
Heck no.
Oh no. Are you more of a night rider then? Because then maybe that's
no, but here's the other thing. Here's the thing that I'm thinking about. And everybody, you guys can let me know in the comments. So boosted said 4 a.m. 4 a.m. he says. So we're in. Yes, throttle down under. It's the Iron Butt is 1,000 miles within 24 hours. So that's what that is. But I want to see. I don't think I want to do the Arizona route because that's just a straight shot there and back. I do want to create some type of scenery. You know, we have a beautiful coastline. I'm gonna have to figure out where I'm gonna go. But that San Francisco route, and I've never been to San Francisco, to believe it or not, lived here my entire life. But Golden Gate Bridge, getting some like good B-roll, and just bringing something, it's like 500 something miles. I'll have to calculate it out, but I'm going to make this happen. You guys can help right now. Whit already says she's going to match whatever it is. Obviously it's live. I was at 738. Such a cool thing. Like Armed Services YMCA. I'm going to have to like figure out I'm going to have to call Clint tomorrow and say, hey, this is what's going on. Please let them know, or we just come back and give them a check. I don't know, but I'm pretty pumped up. I do want to take a little bit of your idea. I'm going to do live streams from Instagram.
That'll help tremendously if you can do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I am so in. I'm nervous. I'm sweating. Like, I'm pretty sure this is a great idea, but man, I've never, this is crazy. So,
I only recommend like highway. The faster like interstate riding that you can do, the better. And like that's what my 48 and 10 days challenge is, pretty much just interstate riding, because you can easily knock down miles from that. It's once you get into traffic and low mileage areas, it's going to be harder because it's going to eat up some of your time too. So I don't know routes out there, but
I mean, we have a beautiful coast highway. This is a good tip. Coast highways close around Big Sur. Right. All right. So I'm going to have to find out something that goes around Big Sur. And then we have some other good advice. So let's do.
I'm helping you plan it out right now. David's asking what app you need. So you need, do you have an iPhone or an Android?
I have an iPhone. Okay.
So SW Connect, and then you need a Spotwalla account. And you technically have to have like a Google mapped layout of it all. So you have to download SW Connect, and you have to create a Spotwalla account. It's just free. And you have to make sure your iPhone is connected to that Spotwalla. It's more for tracking purposes because they like to use it to make sure that you're actually doing the route that you're saying you're doing. So once it's connected, all you have to do is just make sure that's working, and it'll share your location of whatever you're riding. So.
Okay. And I did see that on the video, and I remember looking at those apps, and I think I downloaded them.
Perfect.
So I will make sure that gets, how this happens. I'm trying to figure out, okay, so what I'm going to do, I will definitely be doing a live stream. I might start the live stream series after this on Instagram and just do a quick, like, hey, this is what just happened in case you all missed it.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm dead serious. We'll do $1 for every subscriber until Friday at 5 p.m. It's so awesome that you're like, hey, you'll match that. Because that's a great idea. And I would love to get businesses and whatever. It would just be interesting. This is a spontaneous kind of thing. And I'm going to have to pack. I need to call Boosted Bagger. Boosted Bagger says spot who?
Spotwalla.
I watched the video of what she taught us, so I will get with you on that.
I haven't done an app like how to track video yet. That was my next go-to, but sorry, I don't have that one recorded.
Which
yet.
one?
I wanted to do like how to record your route when you do an iron butt. So I went through the actual like route planning, but when it comes down to the documentation part, that's the part I wanted to share, and I haven't recorded that.
Kind of something I need right now.
Yeah, kind of.
But it would be really cool. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to be 10, 25, 50, but I already said the number. It is what it is. The more, the merrier. But let's go ahead and do that. Whit Meza, guys, make sure you guys are checking her out. If you're watching the replay, guys and girls, because it would be so awesome to get you, I just in front of more. I think one of the biggest things that the community needs more of is female riders like yourselves getting out there, and you be able to share these stories. I'm going to tell you right now, you just motivated me to do a freaking iron butt.
Perfect. That's exactly what I tried to do for my account. So
yeah, it's amazing. I can't believe that it just happened. Here I was going to go have some pasta, maybe watch a movie.
No, you're not going to sleep tonight, but you need to.
No, I got to figure out a way to do it. So yeah, we're gonna do it right now. Everybody on the side chat, thank you so much for participating in this live stream. Whit, I would love to have you back on after this is all over, and we can kind of compare notes. And and if I hate it, it's not going to be your fault, but I'm going to blame you anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. At least you know that you don't like long distance riding. Then that's one of the things.
I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. I just love being on the bike. So I'm just teasing.
You're not gonna hate it then.
Oh, there he is. Hey, just the man that I wanted to see. It is Clint August with Motorcycle Monkey. Hopefully, I'm not sure when you jumped on, Clint, but it just
right
happened. Now. And I'm going to need you to do me a favor, big guy, and let Armed Services YMCA know. Pretty much Whit has convinced us, and I say us because Boosted Bagger pretty much said he's in. And we are going to go do a 1,000-mile ride within 24 hours. Every subscriber I get from here until Friday at 5 p.m., I'm going to donate $1 to the Armed Services YMCA. Whit says she will match that, and any other company or any other business that wants to DM me on Instagram and say that they will match it. That's where we were. We were at 738 when I made the announcement. So clock is ticking. So if you would let Armed Services YMCA know, that'd be awesome. Boosted Bagger says we're going to have rain in the morning.
That's what you did. You talked about it. That's right. Be fine.
Well, I can't pull back now.
No, you can't.
All right. So
you got rain gear?
It's San Diego rain, which means like it's really like 3 drops.
Then you'd be fine.
Yep. Rain gear check. And yeah.
How does the temperatures in the morning? Like how low does it get to?
My trusty iPhone.
I know.
It is going to be tomorrow morning. Is going to be a low of 43 degrees.
Oh my gosh, you'll be fine. Yeah, you'll be fine. I'd be like,
the winds will be coming out of the south-southwest at 0 miles an hour. The chance of precipitation throughout the day is 20%.
Oh God, no! You could do this. You got it.
However, starting at midnight tonight, it is a 60% chance of rain. Either way, Boosted Bagger, we're doing it. Let's get this done. I'm literally going to end this and start creating the map. I will let you guys know. Follow on Instagram because I'm going to be doing live streams throughout our stops just to keep you guys updated. And maybe I'm going to need some motivation.
That's what helped me.
And then who knows? It would even be great. Whit, I might have to call you in the middle of this and we'll kind of discuss maybe some of the emotional feelings I'm having. And if that's what you were going through or when the butt starts hurting a little too much.
It never did for me. I was like, I went out and rode like 600 more miles the next day and a half after that. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, so Clint, just to answer your question real quick. This happened. We are leaving tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. This happened on this live stream. It kind of just fell into place here. So we are, we are doing that. This is an interesting one.
I know. We're making this happen.
Can you do this? Can you chat tomorrow? Yeah. So 101 KGB FM. Hey, I am totally in. We can pump it up. Let's try to make as much money as we can for Armed Services YMCA. So that's what's going to happen.
Look at Boosted Beggar's response, though. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
He says, "Don't get soft on me. I'll leave you." Oh yeah, no, I'm not afraid of a little rain. Hey, you saw the storm I was caught in out in Sturgis. I've never even driven a vehicle, like a caged car and or truck through rain like that, and I was doing it on a bike. So I think we're going to be okay. So yeah, I like this Boosted guy. He's awesome. He is my good influencer, is what I like to call. So, but that is going to do it for our live stream. Whit, let's go ahead and we'll go to the green room real quick so we can exchange info, and we'll make sure that we'll do that. But good night, all. I hope you guys tune in for the next Motovlogger Monday, which will be next week. You let me know if you guys like the 6 p.m. start time, 9 p.m. Eastern, or if you like the 7 p.m. Start time, 10 p.m. Eastern. Let me know which time frame works for you. So, but that's going to do it. Full Throttle Hog, Whit Meza, thank you so much. We're out of here.
See ya.